everyone, and welcome to NorthLark Content Hub, where we talk all things compliance. For those of who are joining with us, fresh and new, we are NorthLark, a Singaporean-based entity that is into regulatory tech compliance, and we operate beyond boundaries across multiple different geographical locations across the world, trying to do our little bit in making this world a safer place. So at NorthLark, while we of course develop cutting edge technologies, which helps the battle in ensuring that regulatory tech compliance prevails, we thought that it is our duty to talk about compliance, to talk about the matters that matter the most, to talk about how, with the right amount of technology that we at NorthLark create and the absolute precise human resources, how can we mitigate the risks that prevails around us on a day-to-day basis? My name is Dulinda Perera, and I currently serve as the Chief Marketing Officer of NorthLark. And joined here with me today is Vinoth Kandasamy, Head of Operations at NorthLark. So, before obviously moving on to Vinod, I wanted to touch upon the multiple different amounts of adverse consequences that the world had to face in the absence of, like I said, the right amount of technology mixed with the precise human resource. What did the world have to go through in the absence of these two? So, obviously, starting from the 2008 financial crisis, which obviously ensured that the world plays a more pivotal role in ensuring that compliance prevails. You can look at the instance of 1.9 billion euros that were wiped off the accounts of Wirecard in 2020, or not so long ago in 2024 when deepfake technology was utilized, where fraudulent transactions, where they could not understand the actual customer identity, fraudulent transactions exceeding 200 million Hong Kong dollars were taken place. Or just in November 2023, a ransomware attack paralyzed a major cloud service provider in the US, which basically paralyzed the operations of around 60 credit unions. The list just simply goes on. And hence why we thought that at NorthLark that we should do what we do best and ensure that the world has the right amount of technology and the right amount of trained human resources that necessarily allows to prevail such attacks. So, Vinod, good to have you here. How are you doing?
Likewise. Absolutely fine. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, great. So, I think we can start off today's conversation with NorthLark Wren. So, I think you know the products like the back of your hand. Could you give us a bit of a brief overview and the inspiration behind NorthLark Wren?
I think start with the inspiration itself is how we evolve with technology right now. Look at everything is at your fingertips and everything is like just a click away. Your payments, your secure payments, where you want to get your visas, everything, name it and you have it on, on your fingertips. So NorthLark Wren is a state of the art, cutting edge technology that looks at streamlining identity verification using advanced biometric processes along with risk analysis. And obviously, for the obvious reasons, that is predominantly focused on elevating the security and compliance in the ecosystem of what you call is a facial biometric verification. So that is what NorthLark Wren is all about, specializing in your identity verification in the most seamless manner.
I mean, sounds absolutely exciting. I just want to backtrack a little and come down to the point. So I'm sure you've been in this space for quite a long time. So I want to understand with all the instances that we mentioned before, the few instances and examples that I just mentioned out in the intro. I want to understand the landscape of compliance and fraud detection. How has it evolved over the years?
So, to talk about the landscape of compliance and fraud detection, Dulinda, over the past years, we've seen a significant involvement in terms of frauds and scandals, financial crises and scandals all over online. You name it, whether it be social media platforms or whether it's financial crises or your bank accounts, everything that is to do with, any sort of identity verification. There have been a lot of issues, a lot of challenges that we faced, even to the recent times where you have the identity theft. So those kind of instances has actually pushed forward the whole compliance ecosystem to focus on using advanced biometrics to understand how to mitigate these frauds and scandals all over. So I think that is the epitome of the requirement as of time, with all the regulators mandating all of these fraud checks, a deep dive into how authenticated this resource or this call is per se for the industry. So that is something that we have to deeply look at.
Amazing. And I think along with all the interest that as an industry that they have pulled in, I'm sure there are other products that necessarily looks into a similar sort of requirement, to be precise. So just for the understanding of our viewers, could you specify how does NorthLark Wren stand out? What is in it there with NorthLark Wren that is not there with the other products that are available in the market?
So what sets NorthLark apart is we've combined real-time fraud detection, uh, a trained resource pool for identification for comprehensive checks, plus we have automated background verifications, which is at your fingers, which is at fingertips. Rather, at a click away, you get a comprehensive result about it. Let's say, for example, whether it is you or me. So we get into a requirement to do a business, maybe for a transaction, maybe for a purchase. But if they want to quickly verify about you or me as a profile, as an individual, all it takes within NorthLark Wren is about 30 seconds,
Oh,
and you have
wow.
the result. So
Wow.
just while you start the conversation, the person sitting next to you knows everything about you that he or she needs to know about in terms of the business model.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. 30 seconds. That is what it takes. 30 seconds. I think when we actually dive deep and when spoke to most of our partners who's utilizing Northrop Grumman right now in their day-to-day business, I think one of the key components that they particularly spoke about was the biometric verification and the fraud detection capabilities of NorthLark Wren. So can you walk us through, including the two that I just mentioned, what are the key USPs and the deliverables of NorthLark Wren? What are the key benefits?
So what we have is the facial biometrics verification, and we have the data extraction, plus a comprehensive risk assessment and live watch list feedback on the individual or the companies that we deal with. So all of this is a combination of the small world of NorthLark Wren, and that is exactly why we specialize in delivering what we say we deliver, because we have a, a compact suite for all of the needs that you would need in terms of biometric verifications.
Amazing. Can we also talk about how NorthLark's sanctions, PEP, and adverse media checks? I think these features kind of enhance the said security compliance atmosphere that necessarily NorthLark Wren creates. Can we talk a little bit more about these features?
All right, so these checks in the world of background verification of an individual combines whether that person is a sanctioned individual, or if it is a politically exposed person, or if again any adverse media reporting to do with that particular individual. All of these will be looked at comprehensively and provided with a detailed reporting, which will actually minimize the risk that is involved when doing business with that particular individual. So it's always a call of understanding your risk appetite before you engage in any sort of financial transaction, or per se, even if it is going to be a reputational damage that could be in the long run with any association with an individual of that caliber. So that is what we are looking at providing as an output to any client who uses NorthLark Wren.
Brilliant. Amazing. So I'm guessing NorthLark Wren kind of comes into the picture at mostly at the customer onboarding itself, right? So can we please speak a little bit as to how NorthLark Wren can contribute to the customer onboarding process, and for any financial institution, how this can necessarily contribute to the customer satisfaction rates?
So NorthLark Wren optimizes the onboarding process with a very rapid and robust technology combined with state-of-the-art technology, as we spoke about.
Yeah.
So that exactly gives you the leverage of exposure into how you would engage in a business with an individual. So that elevates not only the efficiency but also the reliability of the process that you deliver for any client, let it be financial industry or anything that needs to do with any sort of a verification to an individual.
So I think that's fantastic. So Vinod, I'm going to touch upon something that I've come across with most of the FIs that we necessarily speak with. Right, one of the most frequently asked question is how easily can you kind of embed NorthLark Wren to the existing systems? Because almost all of these FIs right now in the world would have a certain system in terms of onboarding the customers and so on and so forth. So how do you kind of integrate this into the existing systems, as well as these businesses come in different sizes? So how scalable is the operation? How scalable is the platform rather for businesses from different sizes?
So Dulinda, you have the answer in the question itself, because NorthLark's products are unique for one particular reason by itself, which is it's 100% customizable and a plug and play model that we have. For Wren, it is way like a plug and play model. So it's an API integratable platform that we have, and it is accessible and integratable to any existing platform that the client uses. It's more like an API integration, just plug and play, and then you're good to go.
Wow.
It's very simple as that.
Easy as that. Great. So I think the world as a whole is evolving. The trends are evolving. We see something new every other day. I mean, you have been in this industry for quite a long time. You've seen the evolution of it, like we spoke. What do you see for the future of compliance, fraud detection, of this whole ecosystem? Where do you see the future going for?
So in terms of how we are headed towards, things are being handled, it's going to be a combination of both AI analytics and facial biometric verifications. Because say anything that you have to do, either you open an account or you want to get your online visa or you want to get your degree sorted out. So anything, you would have to provide an identity verification, and then it has to be very seamless. Everything is on your mobile or a laptop, so you don't have to physically be present anywhere. How authentic the source of information is going to be, or the person who is going to be, is I think going to be the primary focus in the future. If everything is going to be done by technology, then who is going to do it? How secure is this? So that is going to be a question that's going to be asked very frequently. And the answer to it is always around the corner. It's how safe you are. And the most important part is, what is the safest option that you've gone to?
And NorthLark is as safe as it gets.
Well, I didn't want to put it that way, but that is the truth.
That is the truth. That is the truth. I want to understand. I understand that there are certain restrictions and barriers of you saying this, but because obviously on client privacy and the data protection part of things. But in general, how successful have been the clients, or like the way that we like to say at NorthLark, our partners, who is using our technology, who's using our resources on a day-to-day basis? What are the stories that you hear from them? Because I think I'm sure a best part of the job is the satisfaction that comes through from the success of our products being utilized.
Correct. So the voice of our clients, or what we call is the VOC of NorthLark, so voice of clients, has predominantly been focused on three areas. So one is the enhanced security features that they have received, plus the cost efficiency and the delivery satisfaction from their end clients. So see, everything plays into role again, Dulinda, as we speak. Now, my client has to be very happy about what I produce or what I give them as my service. Likewise, your client would want to do that, or somebody else's client want to do that. So everybody wants to see the customer satisfaction arena, which is at the highest level of, I think, a highest level of KPI for the company by itself. So that's what the brands are living to now, and that is what we are happy about, because we change for a better world.
Amazing. Absolutely lovely. And lastly, before we wrap it up, to any individuals who's working through in the sectors of compliance, of fraud detection, in ensuring that the FIs or the financial institutions necessarily give out a better service, what are the last piece of advice, share of thought that you would like to share with them as a last bit of comment?
So to that, for us to close off, Dulinda, I would want to specifically mention that companies who are dealing with financial transactions or any online business, from multiple jurisdictions, there could be various people coming into business. Now, let's say if I have tons and millions of cash, I would want to invest in anything that I see is good. But how authentic is my profile? How did I receive my money? What is the guarantee that it's going to be a very legal business? What are the percussions that will come into your business? All that has to be analyzed, and the right way to move about with it is advanced biometric identification and AI analytics. So I think the most focused area for companies in the future should be how well you can integrate AI analytics to enhance their business delivery, whether it is a very small time business or a brand that's global. How well you put out your reputation as a brand matters at the end of the day, because we've seen small startups growing like waves of success overnight, not because they just put that product on on the stand on the first day. It's because of they put on a lot of hard work ensuring the product is the right fit at that point in time. So that is something that we're looking at from NorthLark as well. So I would recommend people to have a look at NorthLark Wren so that they understand how revolutionized their world of compliance would be with NorthLark Wren coming in. So we want to make a change. Obviously, we all want to make a profit. We all want to make a brand grow and all of that. But at the end of the day, we really want to make a change because we ourselves are invested in the whole idea of having a very safer and a better place for all of us tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Vinod. And for those of you who are watching, if you're from the financial sector, if you are from any background of compliance, and if this conversation has spurred some sense of interest, like Vinod mentioned, it is for your own future, your own security, and your own sustainability of the organization you represent that we say that with NorthLark Wren, 30 seconds is what it takes. 30 seconds for you to know your customer better, and 30 seconds for a sustainable future. So take 30 seconds of your time and drop us an email, give us a shout. Let's talk more and see how NorthLark can be of help. Thank you very much and stay tuned for the next episode.